Hi and welcome to another Ninja Camp tutorial. This is Spiel. I am on my alt Ebenezer, who is an enchanter. I want to show you guys how to use enchanting and auctioneer together. So the first thing you want to do always is scan the auction house. I just scanned about 10 minutes ago, so we should have decent data. Before you start this, you should probably scan for like a week every day. Just use the time to level up enchanting if you're new, but I wouldn't do this without a decent amount of scan data for sure. Alright, so assuming we have a scan, the first thing you want to do is right click this magnifying glass. It brings up the search UI, which is how you do all the cool searches Auctioneer has basically. Click Disenchant on the left. I've already loaded a saved Disenchant setting. Saved search, so I'll just walk you through all the different things it has here. Minimum profit just says you want to make 1 gold or however much you enter here per item, and minimum discount is 51% in this case. Basically you're just saying, you know, I don't want to deal with things that aren't going to make me a decent profit. So when you're starting out, you might want to set this lower, you know, and deal with the smaller enchant mats, and then as you level up, you can set it to where I have it, or higher even. Use custom levels basically just means it's gonna specify that only enchant mats which match these skill values are gonna show up. Basically I just set it so that I don't have to deal with like the really low level stuff, because it's not worth very much money, and I just, for whatever reason, I just don't like getting into it. If you have this unchecked, it's just going to use the enchant levels of your character. So if you're not on an enchanter, make sure that you use the custom levels so you can set it. Allow bids and allow buyouts. This just means it's going to search auctions which have buyouts, and and buy them out if possible, or it'll also let you search for just bids. It's nice just to check buyouts sometimes, because you know you can get everything right away. It's just going to buy everything out that matches the criteria. With bids, you might have to wait a while. I don't mind it, so I just leave it on bids because I just do it daily, and stuff just rolls in every day. It doesn't really matter when to me. Maximum price you're not going to really have to worry about, because nothing's going to be super expensive to disenchant. If you're worried about spending more than 10 gold an item or something, you could set it there though. Price valuation, I just left it Enchantrix, seems to work fine. And then subtracting the auction house fees seems like a no-brainer. I definitely want those factored in. So the next thing you want to do is save your settings if this is your first time, and the word up here will turn green. If you're changing things, it'll turn orange again. And if you want to make some changes, just make sure you hit save again, and the word will turn green. That's how you know it saves. At this point, you just hit search. So it goes through all the auction scan data and finds everything that matches that criteria and puts it in this cool list here. So I like to sort by percentage, which basically just shows everything from the most discounted to the least discounted. So it's saying, like for this top item, the bid is 7 copper, which is obviously like really low for something that level. So it's saying that it's got a huge discount. And then it goes all the way down to the stuff that's like half off, which is what I set the maximum in my search. Other than that, it's pretty much just basic auction stuff, the seller and all that kind of good stuff. It's telling you what the buyout and bid values are, and Auctioneer under reason here also tells you what you should do with it, basically. If you highlight an item and just hit the purchase button, it's just going to do whatever it says in reason. So in this case, it would bid on something. So I click it. Are you sure you want to bid? It's going to pop this window every time. It fills in the reason for you, and then you just hit yes, and it's just bid on that. Now what I usually do when you get a decent amount of money to start doing this, and you're comfortable with your settings, if you hold in Shift, Control, and Alt at the same time, the purchase button, you can see there, it turns to purchase all. I just click that, and it goes through, and you can see it added 49 things, and it's going to cost 214 gold. So make sure you're comfortable with it at that point. and then basically you just hit yes a bunch of times on this list. And it's going through and like actually buying or bidding on this stuff. You can see in the chat log down here what it's doing. So some of them will just say bid, and some of them will say you want. Okay, at this point you can close the window. Up here you can see Auctioneer is still like working on all the stuff we accepted basically. So you kind of just have to sit here and wait for it to count down. It's kind of like going a little too fast to see right now, but what it's doing basically is flipping to the pages that we just of the items we entered and then buying it all, bidding or buying. And again, you can see the stuff through here. So we're going to wait for it to get down, and then I'll show you how to use Enchantrix to disenchant things really quickly. I freed out some bag space over here so I could show you guys. And then finally I'll show you how to use quick auctions to post it really quickly. And this is kind of the cycle I do each day. Alright, sweet. We got everything. Go down here to the mailbox. Make sure you're using postal, it speeds things up a lot. So 16 mail, which means basically, I think there were 46 or something results, so probably 30 of those were bids. So they'll roll in tomorrow or the next day if I win. If not, you'll get a bunch of mail with money in it that just says you've been outbid. So, you know, as long as you do it every day, you're good. So we have 16 things. As soon as it starts rolling in, Enchantrix comes up and asks me if I want to disenchant. So basically you just disenchant all this good stuff. Now I have mine set basically I disenchant everything, but I don't have quick auctions set up to sell any Northrend stuff because I like to make scrolls and sell those. Now there's another video that I have that shows how to set things up in Quick Auctions 3. But just know that I have pretty much every low-level enchanting mat set up in Quick Auctions. So in that video I explained basically all you do is click on the Auctions tab, and I was doing some stuff earlier so this is kind of filled in. And at this point all you do is click Post. And you can see I have some scrolls set up, so it's going to go through those too. And this guy kind of is my general auction guy in addition. So here you can see it's starting to fill in some of that stuff that we just disenchanted. Going through the item count up here to see how many items there are, and this is how many actual auctions are posting. So you can see Arcane Dust, I sell them one at a time, so it's got 21 auctions just for Arcane Dust, but it seems to sell really well. So you know, it's important to, when you're doing this kind of stuff, that you know, you kind of keep an eye on how much money you're spending versus how much money you're making, because you don't want to be backwards. It's easy to lose money and not kind of realize it because you have so much stuff going on. So you know, if it sometimes maybe it's a good idea just to do it all on a separate character at first, so you can really track the gold amounts. Either that or just take really nice notes. So you can see here 64 items have been posted. We can look on here and see all of our stuff. This is some of the stuff we disenchanted, so it's all up there. And basically that's it. The next day you just go up to the auction house, you cancel first with Quick Auctions, so it goes through and takes everything out that's you've been undercut on. Then empty your mail, so you get all the money from the previous day and then all the canceled stuff. And then I just rescan and re-disenchant and then repost. And when you get good at it all, it really only takes like maybe 15 minutes, so it's not too bad. And as always, you know, visit ninjacamp.com. That's our site. We try to promote that as much as possible. We got some cool t-shirts and things like that up there. I will try my best to do more videos like this. Just subscribe to me on YouTube, and you'll get notified when they come out. And good luck making money, and thanks.